Welcome to week 2 of your graded work, boys and girls. Today we are looking at Module 2, Session 1, which will be continuing to work with building those division and multiplication arrays, looking at some word problems. So today we're just going to be looking at word problems and figuring out how we would solve them. They give us a big clue up here that says division story problems. So we're going to look at number 1 first to see what we can do to try and figure out how we would solve this. So if we look at number 1, it says, if I had 24 cookies, let me get my little pen out. 24 cookies, and I wanted to divide them evenly among 6 children. How many cookies would each child get? Now, we talked before last week about how we said splitting evenly, all of that would mean that we needed to divide. And when we divide, we're taking a larger number and we're breaking it down into a smaller number. So let's go to our frames, because you know I love these. And I'm going to write in my nicest that I have 24. Didn't go so nice. Cookies. Was it cookies, I hope? Yes. 24 cookies. And I have how many kids? Help me out. Who remembers? Hopefully you said 6. So I have 6 kids. And we want to figure out how many cookies does each kid get. So we've been working with arrays and we've been making groups. So if I have 24 cookies and I know that I have 6 kids, what would I make my groups of? Can I give you a minute? Think about it. Okay, hopefully you told me that we're going to make groups of 6. So I'm going to bring over 5 because I love this little thing. Bring one more over. And that's one group of 6. Okay? I need to get to 24 cookies. So right now I only have 6 cookies. So let's bring another group of 5 over. And the additional. So let's count. Stuart loves her side count. So she has 6. And then I add 6 more. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So far I've only shown 12 cookies. Do I have 12 cookies? No. If I look, I have 24 cookies. So I need to continue. I need to add some more. If we can drag. Okay, let's add the 6 more to our 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Well, 18 is pretty darn close to 24. So we should be getting really warm. Let's try another row. Bring one more down. And if we're at 18, we'll count up 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So we have what is our 24 cookies now. But if I count this way to figure out how many cookies, I get 6. So do you think the 6 represents the number of cookies that each kid will get? Hopefully you're yelling, no, Miss Stewart, you're crazy. Hopefully you remember that the 6 represents the number of kids. So we have to look at it this way to figure out how many cookies each kid would get. So if I look going down into my rows, my array is a 4 by 6. So if there's 6 kids, each kid is going to get 4 cookies. Now, let's write this as a division equation because that's what we're practicing. Remember, we start with our larger number. So 24, and we were given the 6, so we're going to divide it by 6. And when we did the 24 divided by 6, we learned that if we had 24 cookies and we split them with 6 kids, each kid would get 4 cookies. But wait, that's not all. This topic, or this section, is asking you to come up with fact families. And in my class, we always sing when we hear the word fact families. We sing, "We are family." That was beautiful, right? So we have to come up with the fact family. If you remember what Mrs. Skews had taught us a couple weeks ago with fact families, we come up with 2 division equations and 2 multiplication equations. So we divide, we always start with our larger number. So we're going to keep the 24, but instead of the 6, what number do you think we can put here instead of 6? Give you a minute to think. Okay, hopefully you said 4. So we could do 24 divided by 4, which would equal 6. Okay, then we have to make 2 multiplication equations. When we make our multiplication equations, we multiply 2 numbers together to get a larger number. So if I look at the 3 numbers that I have been given here, the largest number out of all of them is the 24. So then I know when I'm multiplying, my answer is going to equal 24 because that's the biggest number. And when you multiply numbers, you multiply to get a bigger number. So we have to use our other 2 numbers that we have, which are the 6 and the 4. So we could do 6 times 4 equals 24. And then we have to flip it to show it a different way. And we could do 4 times 6 equals 24. So if I go back to that worksheet, I should be able to tell my friends that each kid would get 4 cookies and that this is my fact family for this set of problems. Okay, let's scroll down. Let me get back to my mouse, sorry. Oh, my lines don't disappear. A little deceiving. Okay. Number 2. Emma has 35 baseball cards. She divided them into 5 equal rows. How many cards are in each row? So we're looking at 35 cards. They tell us that she divided them into 5 equal rows. So that means if I make a row of something, let's say, for example, I do a row of 3, and then I do this and make a row of 4, is that an equal row? Hopefully you're telling me no, because if you look, this has 1 extra, and it says right here that it's equal, so we can't have an extra chip just hanging out by itself when we do the arrays. Okay, so let's look. We have 35 cards. And they're in 5 equal rows. How smart, I might have written this beforehand. Sorry, guys. So if I have 35 cards and there are 5 equal rows, I can start by making groups. And I can make groups of 5. Even though it says 5 equal rows, we know our arrays are going to be something by something, and one of those is going to be the number 5. So let's make a row of 5. We'll do, this one should be pretty easy because we are really good at counting by 5s. So we have 5, 10. Let's label some. 5, 10, 15, let's label and catch up. 20, 25, 30. We're so close. How many more rows do we need? Hopefully you're telling me 1. So we need 1 more row of 5. And that takes us to 35. So let's make our division equation. We start with our largest number, which is the 35. And we're dividing by what we've been given, which is 5 equal rows. And what did we learn that equals? So if I look, here's a row, here's the second row, the third row, fourth row, fifth row. So if I go down and count this whole row, what do I have? Well, I have 7 in each row. So this would be my division equation. But we're not done yet. We have to think about fact families. We are family. So what else can we do? We know we have to do a second division equation, and it starts with the largest number. So we're going to start with our 35, and we're going to divide again. But this time, since we already used the 5 first, we're going to use the 7 first. So 35 divided by 7 equals 5. But that's not the only part, because when we do fact families, we have 2 division equations and 2 multiplication equations. So when we multiply, we said earlier that we try to get to a larger number or a smaller number. What do you think? A larger number. So if we look at these 3 numbers, 35, 5, and 7, what's our larger number? 35. So our answers should equal 35. So now we just have to use the other 2 numbers that we were given. So we can do 5 times 7 equals 35. And now we have to flip it and do 7 times 5 equals 35. And all of this is my fact family. Okay? So let's try and do one more together. And then I will show you a problem that you can try. Well, actually, how about, we're going to skip number 3. because 3 is almost, oh geez, almost identical to what we just did in 2. So we're going to skip 3. Let's look at number 4. Okay, and we're going to read it together, and then I think you should pause and try to solve this one on your own. Not only solve it, but make the fact family for it as well. Number 4, 7 candies fit into each treat bag. Jerry has 56 pieces of candy. How many bags can he make? So we know that we have 56 pieces of candy. And we know that it says Jerry is putting 7 pieces into each bag. So if I know that I have 56 pieces and I'm putting 7 in a bag, what am I going to make rows of for my array? Okay, hopefully you're telling me we're going to make rows of 7, and we're going to keep making rows of 7 until we get all the way to what number? 56. So switch to our mouse. 5, 6, 7. Okay, let's count a little bit, check where we are. So we're counting by 7s. So 7, 14, 21, if you're good at your skip counting. If not, you can count each row. So 21 is not close to 56 yet. We're getting there, but not where we need to be. So let's add a couple more groups of 7. Okay, let's count again. Let's see where we're at. So we have 28, 35, 42. Okay, we're getting closer, but we're not there yet, so we need to continue. Okay, let's count. So 42 plus 7 more is 49. And then we do get 56. So the question is, how many treat bags can he make? Well, if he's made 7 pieces of candy, so it's a 7, this array is going to be a 7 by what? How many are going down? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So our array is a 7 by 8, which means he can make 8 treat bags. So let's make our division equation. Okay, start with our large number. So 56 divided by, what do we know? The 7 pieces of candy in a bag. And it's going to equal 8. Okay, but we're going to do our fact families. So we know we have one division, which means we have to have another division because we have 2 division to multiplication. So 56 divided by what goes here? 7 again? No? Okay. So 8 goes here. Good job. And that should equal 7. And now we need to have our multiplication equation. Remember, when we multiply, we're getting a larger number. So our largest number goes on the outside of what it equals now. It's our product. So we have 56 here and 56 here. But what are we multiplying? So we could do 8 times 7. And then we have to reverse and do 7 times 8. So that would be our fact family. So how many treat bags can Jerry make? You guys help me figure out that Jerry can make 8 treat bags from the 56 pieces of candy with 7 in each bag. I am gonna, oh gosh, I thought I was gonna scroll down. I'm gonna let you look at number 5 and number 6. If you and your family would like some extra practice, feel free to do number 5 and number 6. If you look at number 6, though, it could be a little tricky because it does say, let's read it. Mrs. Gorman has 28 tape measures and she wants to put the same number of tape measures in each toolkit. She has 9 toolkits. How many tape measures will go in each kit? Will there be any left over? Now remember, when we make our arrays, they have to be the same dimension. So if I go across 3 in the first 3 rows, then I have to go across 3 continuing as I go down, okay? And if I only make a row with 1 in it, then that's what's left over. So I am going to leave this up to you guys. If you would like to do number 5, definitely I would practice. And number 6, if you would like to give it a challenge, and let us know what you think. If you have any questions, please email your teachers. That is it for today's lesson. Tomorrow we're going to be trying to fill in some blanks with some division and multiplication equations. So thank you guys for listening, and I will see you or talk to you soon.